like I said, Ty's going to talk about that. In January of 2008, I was 32 years old, and I had a stroke. It floored me. It took me out of my practice. I wasn't able to practice for about 2 weeks. And it really hurt me. It really, physically and mentally, it hurt me. And I thought I was going to lose my practice. I don't know if you know this, but I have 6 children. Okay, 4 boys and 2 girls. I've got a big family. I've got a lot of mouths to feed. I've got a wife, kids. And so when I had this stroke, and they did a battery of tests, they couldn't find anything. They didn't know why it happened. They basically said it was a fluke. And so to not worry about it and to go home and never really think about it again. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? 6 kids, wife, there's no way I can not think about this. And so I asked, what can I do? Is there anything I can do to prevent this from happening again? And they really had no answers. The only thing that they could give me was fish oils. Now, if you take fish oils, don't take offense to this, but I can't stand fish oils. I didn't want to burp fish for the rest of my life. Are you kidding me? Disgusting. So that wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to be taking fish oils. So, and it's not very well researched either. And so that was my quest to figure out, what can I find that would at least help a little bit, okay? And so a couple of years later, I still had residual symptoms. It affected the right side of my body. The whole side of my body was affected. And for 2 years. And then I ran into Protandim in June of 2010. Started taking Protandim. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it was a miracle. 2 days later, I woke up and I was symptom-free. I didn't take Protandim to become symptom-free. I'm a doctor. I understand that strokes that happen, it usually debilitate people for the rest of their lives. And so I wasn't looking for something that would take away my symptoms. I wanted something that would maybe help a little bit. Maybe prevent, maybe not prevent, but maybe even postpone. Okay? I didn't want to have one at 35. I'm 35 now.
Is there something in your family?
It's a genetic trait in my family. So I want to try to keep that from happening if I can. And so I ran into Protandim in June of 2010. I kicked it away because it was network marketing. I didn't want anything to do with it. Never done it before. But I understood. I thought I understood the model, but kicked it away. It came back to me several times. And the last time that it came back to me, I was asked to do some research for somebody. Not to get on it, not to do the business, but just to research it. So I dove in, started doing research, started taking the product. In December of 2010, I woke up symptom-free. And that was amazing to me. I had what was called hyperesthesia, which is an increased sensation. Felt like I was wearing fire for clothes on that right side. My kids would bump into my leg, and it would, it was jolting. And so who doesn't want their kids to come climb up on their lap? No, son, you've got to sit on this lap, come on. It's no way to live. But I can stand before you today and tell you that I am symptom-free. I am absolutely symptom-free, and I've been symptom-free from that day forward. Now, I'm not going to sit here and claim that it was Protandim. I don't know what it was. I know what I did, though. Okay? In June of 2010, I was doing nothing. I still had my symptoms. I started taking Protandim 6 months later. From doing nothing, but just taking Protandim, I was symptom-free. So you do the math. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. My claim is unusual. That's not a typical thing to have happen. The really cool thing about this is that from being in this business, I've been able to bump into a lot of not very typical people. It's really cool. And so I'll put it out there. It's not typical results. My wife had increased energy, better night's sleep. She's always been anxious, and for her whole life, she's always been anxious. And about 3 months into it, she was no longer anxious, and she put 2 and 2 together. She was like, "I bet it was the Protandim." I don't know if it was, but hey, anecdotal evidence is okay. We don't have research out that says that, but we're getting there. Okay.